The bus rattles onward, leaving the eerie bridge behind, yet the air remains charged with an unsettling quietness, as if the ghosts you glimpsed are still riding alongside you. You settle into your seat, the wooden frame creaking softly beneath you, and watch the dim lantern light flicker against the misted windows. The conductor's silhouette moves methodically through the narrow aisle, his footsteps a steady metronome in the low hum of the engine. Outside, Edo's night reveals itself in slices, faint outlines of wooden houses, paper lanterns swaying in the breeze, and shadows that dance just beyond the glow. You notice a strange, flickering presence at the edge of your vision, an ephemeral figure in a kimono, hair drifting like smoke, who vanishes when you turn to look. A soft chill crawls down your spine, but it's more curiosity than fear that holds you in place. The conductor approaches your seat, his expression unreadable in the low light. He holds out a small wooden box, intricately carved with cranes and chrysanthemums, the symbols of longevity and rebirth. Inside are tiny paper talismans, Ofuda, imbued with blessings to protect the living from restless spirits. He hands you one, and you feel the smooth paper warm under your fingers, the faint scent of cedar and ink filling your senses. "Every passenger receives this," he says quietly. A reminder that not all spirits wish harm. Many only seek to be remembered, to be guided. Historians still debate whether such talismans were more symbolic or believed truly effective, but their presence in Edo's spiritual landscape is undeniable, bridging the tangible with the ethereal. As the bus winds through narrow alleys, you hear murmurs, half-voices, whispers of forgotten tales. You realize the conductor is not just ferrying souls, but stories, too, carrying them through the night like a living archive of Edo's hidden histories. Somewhere ahead, the distant toll of a temple bell echoes, marking the passage of time in this timeless realm between waking and dreaming. You lean back, the talisman resting in your palm, feeling the quiet weight of countless lives intertwined with your own journey. The bus slows as it approaches a cluster of lantern-lit teahouses perched beside a narrow canal, their wooden facades glowing softly in the night. You can almost smell the faint aroma of brewed green tea mixed with the earthy scent of river water, a combination so calming it momentarily distracts you from the persistent feeling of otherworldly company. The conductor steps off briefly, disappearing into the warm light, leaving you to wonder if he's even human, or some specter himself, blending seamlessly into the nocturnal tapestry of Edo. Through the fogged window, you watch women in elegant kimonos glide between the teahouses, their footsteps muffled on wooden boards, carrying the whispers of Edo's nocturnal social world. One of them pauses, casting a fleeting glance toward the bus, her eyes distant, almost too still. You catch yourself staring, but the image evaporates like a breath on cold glass, and you're left questioning what's real and what's conjured by the night. The ancient cityscape is punctuated by subtle signs of life and loss. An old rickshaw, left abandoned near a willow tree, a weathered stone statue of Jizo, protector of travelers and children, standing silent sentinel by the canal's edge. You reach out and lightly touch the wooden panel of your seat, grounding yourself in the tangible as the mystical seems to press closer. The conductor returns, carrying a small bundle wrapped in faded indigo cloth. He unwraps it to reveal a collection of miniature masks, Hyottoko and Okame, playful yet eerie faces traditionally used in festivals to ward off evil spirits. He explains softly that these masks are worn by some passengers not just for protection, but to confuse the spirits who might try to cling to the living. This curious tradition sparks a question that has long intrigued scholars. Did Edo's residents truly believe in the power of these masks? Or were they more of a communal charm, a cultural ritual blending superstition and social bonding? The line remains delightfully blurred, much like the mist curling over the canal waters. As the bus readies to depart, you tuck one of the masks into your pocket, a talisman of mischief and mystery, while the soft murmur of the canal water and distant laughter from the teahouses fade into the night. The bus rumbles forward, now skimming past the edge of Edo's sprawling cemeteries, where ancient gravestones crowd together, like a whispered history in stone. The air thickens with a chill that isn't just from the evening's descent, but carries the weight of countless stories, of lives lived, lost, and sometimes forgotten. Lanterns flicker intermittently along the winding paths, their soft glow illuminating inscriptions worn smooth by time and weather. You glance sideways at the conductor, who seems unusually somber now, his gaze fixed on some unseen point beyond the fog. His fingers tighten briefly on the wooden pole, as if bracing against a sudden shiver that might not be entirely physical. It's said that the dead here are restless, their spirits wandering these grounds before they find final peace, if ever they do at all. Some locals whisper of a peculiar figure who roams the night, a conductor of sorts who ferries the lost souls back toward the light, or deeper into the shadows. As the bus halts at a dimly lit crossroads near a cluster of willow trees, you notice a thin figure step aboard, an elderly man draped in a faded kimono, his face half shrouded beneath a wide-brimmed hat. He speaks little but carries a small, worn book bound in leather, the pages yellowed with age. The conductor greets him with a nod that feels weighted with shared secrets, as if they belong to an unseen society of shadow guides. This moment leads you to ponder the curious role of such figures in Edo folklore. Were they benevolent protectors or enigmatic gatekeepers of the afterlife? Historians still argue whether the legend of the soul-collecting conductor evolved from Buddhist teachings, local ghost stories, or a blend of both, a mysterious tapestry woven from fear, hope, and the human need to understand death. You lean back, the bus creaking gently as it moves on, carrying you deeper into the night, surrounded by whispers and shadows that seem to stretch just beyond the edge of sight. The bus glides past a narrow canal shimmering faintly beneath the moonlight, where willow branches brush the water's surface like ghostly fingers. The murmurs of water, mingling with the distant clatter of wooden geta shoes, create a lullaby that's both soothing and slightly eerie. You feel the pull of this liminal space, the boundary where the living world brushes against the realm of spirits, a place where ancient tales come alive in hushed whispers. The conductor stands near the rear door, his posture rigid but calm, a quiet sentinel between worlds. You notice how the shadows seem to cling to him, wrapping around his silhouette like a cloak. It's said that he can sense the presence of those who shouldn't be here, wandering souls who've lost their way, or those tethered by unfinished business. Tonight, the air feels thick with such presences, an invisible crowd just beyond your vision, waiting for their passage. A young woman boards the bus here, her kimono patterned with delicate cherry blossoms. Her eyes carry a melancholy that contrasts with the vibrant print, and she clutches a small wooden box tightly to her chest. The conductor exchanges a brief nod with her, and you sense a silent understanding, as if she's entrusting him with more than just a fare. Some say the box holds a message for the beyond, a letter sealed with love and longing. You wonder how much of this ritual is real, and how much is the collective imagination of a city steeped in superstition. Historians still debate whether these ghostly conductors were literal figures in Edo or symbolic embodiments of the community's relationship with death and remembrance. Either way, the tale endures, threading its way through time like the winding streets of this ancient city. As the bus begins its final descent into the heart of Edo, you feel a gentle calm settle over the journey, a reminder that sometimes the unknown is not something to fear, but a quiet companion on the road home. The bus slows to a stop beneath a flickering lantern outside a small shrine, nestled between timber houses, the faint scent of incense curling through the evening air. You watch as the conductor steps down, his footsteps soft on the cobblestones, a ritual concluding yet lingering. He moves with deliberate care toward the shrine's ancient wooden altar, placing a folded piece of paper, an offering perhaps, amidst the flickering flames, a gesture both solemn and intimate. Around you, the city hums quietly, as if respecting the moment's gravity. The streets are emptying, families drawing indoors, and the night's veil thickens like a well-worn kimono. You catch a glimpse of a stray cat, weaving between shadows, its eyes gleaming like lantern fire, a silent witness to the unseen. You remember how in Edo, animals were sometimes believed to carry spiritual significance, messengers between the worlds of the living and the dead. This final act, you realize, is more than ceremony. It's a bridge, a gentle closing of a circle that honors those who've journeyed both the living roads and the shadowed paths beyond. The conductor's role is not just to ferry passengers, but to hold stories, memories, and souls, a quiet guardian of passage and peace. Historians still argue whether such figures truly existed or are poetic metaphors woven into Japan's rich tapestry of folklore. But as you sit back in your seat, the bus now empty and still, you feel the hum of connection, a timeless narrative about acceptance, transition, and the kindness we extend to the unseen. So as the night deepens and your eyelids grow heavy, remember that some journeys are not just about where you're going, but who walks with you along the way, even if those companions come cloaked in shadow. Now, as your breathing slows and the gentle rhythm of the conductor's footsteps fades into the quiet night, let your mind drift softly like cherry blossoms falling on a still pond. The bus, once alive with whispers and mysteries, rests beneath the moon's tender gaze, its journey paused but never forgotten. You feel a warmth, subtle and steady, like the flicker of lantern light weaving through ancient wooden beams. There's comfort in the unseen, the souls carried gently, the stories held close, the silent respect for those who have passed through doors you cannot see. Imagine the air thick with incense and soft murmurs, the delicate rustle of silk robes, and the quiet pulse of a city that remembers and honors every traveler. The conductor's world is one of liminal space, a place between worlds where the weight of life and death mingle in whispers and shadows, never rushed, always respectful. Let the scene soften now, the edges blurring into a soothing haze. The night holds no fear here, only the gentle promise of rest and the endless cycle of journeys beginning and ending, again and again. Close your eyes and breathe in the calm, the quiet reverence of a ritual centuries old. And know you are part of a story that flows through time like a slow, endless river. Sleep now, wrapped in the delicate threads of memory and mystery, and drift on, light as a feather, into the welcoming arms of dreams. End of script. Sweet dreams.
Now, as your breathing slows and the gentle rhythm of the conductor's footsteps fades into the quiet night, let your mind drift softly, like cherry blossoms falling on a still pond. The bus, once alive with whispers and mysteries, rests beneath the moon's tender gaze, its journey paused but never forgotten. You feel a warmth, subtle and steady, like the flicker of lantern light weaving through ancient wooden beams. There's comfort in the unseen, the souls carried gently, the stories held close, the silent respect for those who have passed through doors you cannot see. Imagine the air thick with incense and soft murmurs, the delicate rustle of silk robes, and the quiet pulse of a city that remembers and honors every traveler. The conductor's world is one of liminal space, a place between worlds where the weight of life and death mingle in whispers and shadows. Never rushed, always respectful. Let the scene soften now, the edges blurring into a soothing haze. The night holds no fear here, only the gentle promise of rest and the endless cycle of journeys beginning and ending, again and again. Close your eyes and breathe in the calm, the quiet reverence of a ritual centuries old, and know you are part of a story that flows through time like a slow, endless river. Sleep now, wrapped in the delicate threads of memory and mystery, and drift on, light as a feather, into the welcoming arms of dreams.